Alright, people, your boy man Mike coming at you guys with yet another Atlanta Falcons video, man, and this is for Arsenio Williams. The offense is slow. The plays take too long to develop. Too many 5- and 7-step dropbacks. Honestly, I think we need to be more spread. We have the offense to run the spread. All of our weapons will shine in some form of a spread, and the zone blocking scheme for the offensive line. That's what happened when Shanahan was here. Koetter playbook is outdated. I just want to clear up one thing. As far as offensive schemes, offensive plays, and whether or not things are outdated, I don't necessarily believe that is the case with Dirk Koetter. I think his offense is extremely capable. His offensive scheme is definitely capable. When I go back and I look at a lot of film, I'm one that is critical and have been critical of Dirk Koetter. I don't think he particularly likes to run the ball much. He forces the running backs to be more of, big playbacks. I think that's what his offense is. It's predicated on big plays. So if you're not getting big plays, then you're not going to see the best of a Dirk Koetter offense. So I puts a lot of pressure not only on the offensive line because he likes the long developing plays. If you don't have the explosive players to maximize his play calling, then that's where you see the Falcons, the offensive line struggle. That's when you see Matt Ryan taking hits that he doesn't need to take. You need running backs who have the capability of pass protection. And this is one of the reasons why I've stated that Todd Gurley will be more of an impact as a receiver, and then the passing game, then maybe as a runner. So Dirk Koetter's offense isn't outdated. That is something that I don't believe. He's done a good job as far as adjusting to each year, each scheme. I mean, that's why the Atlanta Falcons brought him back, for the most part, for to be an offensive coordinator. You go back to even what he was, the offensive coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Offense is pretty much the same. 2012, the Atlanta Falcons, they had a pretty good offensive. Output in 2012. Obviously, the Falcons went to the NFC Championship, ultimately losing. But when you look at Dirk Koetter's offense, there isn't anything that states outside of the running game that says to me personally that he's incapable of having a top 10, top 15 offense. The Falcons offense, as long as you have Julio, as long as you have Matt Ryan at the helm, Dirk Koetter offense would for the most part be good enough to get points. As far as the spread is concerned, the Falcons, every team run a form of spread. So anytime you have 4 or 5 wide receivers, you have a running back, those types of things, you can run, a certain version. There's so many versions of the spread offense. A lot of what we see today is that, the spread offense, we don't, a lot of people will say that we don't have the, the personnel to run it. You're absolutely right that we do have the personnel to run the spread offense, but when you look at the Atlanta Falcons, like I said, there's many versions of what the spread offense is, and the Atlanta Falcons do have the personnel to do that. I think there's a West Coast style where you want to get the ball quickly out of your hand. There's a style of spread offense where you want to attack downfield. Look at, Texas Tech, what Patrick Mahomes and whatnot. So there's different versions of what a spread offense is. I think what you have to do as far as the spread offense is concerned, that you want to maximize, your offensive players. That's what it's all about. Maximize the players that you have on the squad. The Atlanta Falcons have Hayden Hurst. The Falcons have Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, Todd Gurley, and you know, a few other guys that you want to help kind of get these guys the ball. Ito Smith, Quadri Olderson. The Falcons have a number of offensive weapons that they want to help maximize. So it's not necessarily, oh, I want to be in a spread offense, or I want to be in a West Coast offense, or just a run-first offense. You want to maximize talent. I think that's where, you know, you win and you lose. Maximize talent. So if you're not calling the right plays to kind of get these guys in position to make plays, that's what matters most. And style. To me, I think that's what matters most, that style. Maximizing players' talent. And the players have to execute. I say this over and over again. I don't give a damn how you can call one of the worst plays there is. All right, you can call 3rd and 1 and a dive up the middle. And the defensive team, their weakness is running the ball up the middle. You can run the ball up the middle. If those guys don't execute that play, doesn't matter what an offensive call of play. You have to execute. So it goes hand in hand. It is, you know, as far as offensive coordinators, they do have to call a perfect play. They do have to, you know, kind of help get the ball in the hands of the guys that make the most plays. And the guys have to execute. So I'm not gonna put all the finger and point the finger at Dirk Koetter, because when I looked at the film, what I saw is that the Atlanta Falcons running backs, they just didn't execute. They didn't, you know, get the yards after contact. They didn't make big runs. They didn't make big plays, and that's what it comes down to, man. The Falcons have Todd Gurley looking for Ito Smith, Quadri Olderson, Brian Hill. Those guys kind of take the next step, and it's up to them. I said it over and over again. Doesn't matter which play you call. All right, it really doesn't matter. If the players can execute that poor call, then that poor call becomes a damn good call. So it works hand in hand. Offensive coordinators, play calling. You know, you got to understand what a lot of offensive coordinators, they typically don't understand. And I think this has been a weakness of the Atlanta Falcons offensive coordinator the past years, is that they don't know when is a good time to stick with something. I think that's what the Falcons, Dirk Koetter, is going to get better. He needs to stick with what works. And last year, the passing game worked for the Atlanta Falcons. We did not run the ball for multiple reasons. Not just offensive line was inconsistent, but these running backs were not consistent at all. Devontae Freeman, Ito Smith, those guys just weren't consistent. All right, that's just the facts of the matter. So I'm not just going to point the finger at Dirk Koetter and say he's the reason. He's the reason why the Atlanta Falcons offense wasn't, you know, consistent all year. Gotta have consistency out of your players as well as your play calls. But that's just my take on it, man. I appreciate everybody for continuing to support your boy here at Mad Mike Sports, man. Leave your comments below. Your boy Mad Mike is out, man.